Swords were one of the biggest signs of honor and bravery, especially during the medieval period. Often, more than people, swords took the limelight in both historical and mythological legends. Today we will have a look at 10 famous swords from history and mythology. Number 10. Gao Jin. This legendary sword was unearthed in 1965 in China. It was named after the famous Emperor of China. Despite being buried for over 2,000 years, this sword was in as good a condition as new. Though his state was defeated by the state of Wu, Gao Jin led his army to victory 10 years later, allegedly, with this very sword. Number 9. Wallace's sword. This sword claimed to have belonged to William Wallace, a Scottish knight from 13th century, who led a resistance against the English during the Wars of Scottish Independence. The sword was used at the Battle of Stirling. Number 8. Shumshire-Zumordnigar. This sword comes from the Persian legend Amir Arsalan. Tales claim that a hideous horned demon was invulnerable to all weapons except this sword. Apparently, it originally belonged to King Solomon. A wound inflicted by this sword could only be treated by a special potion. Number 7. Legbitter. Legbitter belonged to the Viking king Magnus III. This sword had a hilt made of a tooth and a hand grip wound about with gold thread. When the king was killed in a battle, this sword was said to be lost, and later retrieved and sent home. Number 6. Durandal. According to the Song of Roland, the sword was given to Charlemagne by an angel, and then he gave it to Roland. It is also considered to be the sharpest of all swords. Number 5. Charlemagne's warriors. The town of Warriors is named after this sword. Also, according to legends, Warriors was lost in a battle and found by one of Charlemagne's knights, and to thank him, Charlemagne granted him an appendage named Warriors. Number 4. Kusanagi no Tsurugi. This is a legendary Japanese sword, an almost equivalent to Excalibur, and one of the 3 imperial regalia of Japan. Whether or not the modern Kusanagi is original, it still maintains all the symbolism attached to the original. Number 3. Zulfikar. Zulfikar is the legendary sword of Hazrat Ali, cousin and son-in-law of the Islamic prophet Muhammad. It was given to him by Prophet Muhammad, according to legends. It was generally depicted as a scissor-like double-bladed sword on Muslim flags. Also, as a reference to this legendary sword, Islamic swords are sometimes made with a split tip. Number 2. Calada and Tizona. Calada and Tizona are the legendary swords of Campeador of Spain. The ruler won Tizona from its previous owner in Valencia, and Calada in combat from the Count of Barcelona. A sword, alleged to be Calada, is preserved in the Royal Palace of Madrid. Number 1. King Arthur's Excalibur. According to Arthurian legends, Excalibur is the sword that Arthur drew from a stone, which in turn made him the legendary king. This sword is said to have special powers. Legend says that Arthur sleeps peacefully and one day he will wake up and come back with his sword again when his country would need him.